Welcome to the Infinite Company Bookshelf, the podcast where we discuss and adapt the most important and pertinent books for success in a hyper-disruptive and intelligence-abundant world. I'm Laura, and with me is the ever-curious and always caffeinated Kiefer.
Thanks, Laura. And today we're unpacking one of the most mind-bending books of the last decade, Antifragile, by Nassim Taleb. This one isn't just a regular read. It's a worldview reset.
Taleb's central question is brilliant in its simplicity. If fragile things break under stress and robust things resist it, what do you call something that actually gets better when stressed? His answer? Antifragile. It's that wild category of things that benefit from volatility, randomness, and disorder, like the Hydra in Greek mythology. Cut off one head, two grow back. The opposite of a snowflake.
And here's the key. Antifragility isn't just resilience. Resilience means you bounce back to the same state after a shock, like a rubber band. But anti-fragile systems go a step further. They grow stronger because of the shock. It's the difference between recovery and evolution. In today's world, resilience is survival. Antifragility is strategy.
He wants us to stop bubble wrapping our systems and start designing for chaos. I mean, easier said than done, right?
Right? Think about it this way. If you're mailing a package with champagne glasses, you'd stamp fragile or handle with care. But what's the exact opposite of that? Taleb suggests it's a package where you deliberately write, "Please mishandle," or "Please handle carelessly," because its contents would benefit from shocks and a wide array of trauma. That, my friends, is antifragility.
While that might feel hilarious, Kiefer, what makes Taleb's ideas so compelling is that it challenges our deepest habits of control. In a world obsessed with risk mitigation and stability, he argues that true resilience doesn't come from resisting stress, but from strategically embracing it.
He draws on examples from nature, history, and finance to show how systems that face regular, manageable stress tend to become stronger over time. It's like the immune system. Expose it to mild stressors, germs, vaccines, physical training, and it strengthens. Taleb draws from this biological principle of hormesis, where low-dose stress actually enhances long-term resilience.
Shelter it completely, and it becomes vulnerable to the slightest threat. And Taleb believes the same applies to economies, cities, and yes, companies. The more we over-optimize for efficiency and predictability, the more fragile we become when the unexpected inevitably arrives.
Which brings us beautifully to one of the core pillars of The Infinite Company, authored by none other than Charlie Ang, futurist, strategist, and the architect of a framework for building future-creating companies that prosper in this hyper-disruptive age.
That framework is called the Infinite Code, and it has 3 pillars: Antifragility, Ambidexterity, and Regeneration.
Antifragility, obviously, is where Taleb comes in. It's about building systems that thrive on shocks.
Ambidexterity is the ability to exploit the present while exploring the future, running today's operations and innovating tomorrow's breakthroughs. Think of it as your organization steering a ship through rough waters while simultaneously redesigning the sails.
And then there's regeneration, going beyond sustainability to become net positive to the world, transforming financial, human, and ecological resources into greater systemic value.
One of Taleb's most fascinating insights is optionality. You don't need to predict the future, just position yourself to benefit when good things happen and limit the downside when they don't.
Infinite companies live and breathe this. They don't make giant irreversible bets. They run small experiments, hedge wisely, and build portfolios of innovation. They treat the future like a jungle, not a roadmap. Laura, what's another strategy you got out from the book?
Another big one, Taleb's via negativa, improvement through subtraction, cutting out noise, toxicity, and fragility instead of adding bells and whistles. Rather than asking what to add, Taleb encouraged us to ask what to remove, because elimination often strengthens the signal, reduces risk, and simplifies complexity. It's almost zen.
He also stresses the importance of skin in the game. The idea that people and systems perform better when they bear the consequences of their actions. If you're shielded from the downside of your decisions, you become fragile by default.
Antifragile systems embed consequences at every level, ensuring decisions are wiser, incentives aligned, and learning more honest.
And let's not forget Taleb's signature concept, the black swan. Unpredictable, high-impact events that shake everything up. Taleb says we're terrible at predicting them, so instead, we should design to benefit from them.
That's where the barbell strategy comes in. Combine two extremes, one ultra-safe and one high-risk but limited in downside. When a black swan hits, you're not wiped out. You might even come out ahead.
Let me elaborate further. Put 80% in the boring but safe, and 20% chasing breakthrough opportunities. That asymmetry is where infinite companies thrive, building both protection and breakout potential.
Before we dive into company examples, let's drop in one of Taleb's most memorable lines. Wind extinguishes a candle and energizes fire. It's the perfect metaphor for antifragility. Fragile systems are snuffed out by volatility, but anti-fragile ones feed on it and grow stronger, which brings us to real-world examples. Kiefer, tee us off here.
Sure, Laura. Huawei is a standout. Antifragility is engineered into its DNA, from decentralized decision-making, employee ownership model, to relentless R&D. Despite intense geopolitical pressure and U.S. tech sanctions, many thought Huawei would be history. But it didn't just survive.
It restructured, doubled down on innovation, and launched new business units such as AI chips, smart devices, and autonomous driving. In 2024, its revenue and performance hit record highs. It has been stronger than it has ever been. Who would have imagined that Western sanctions turned out to be a blessing in disguise for Huawei? Kiefer, what's the company that comes to mind for you?
I love SpaceX for their fail-forward, or should I say fail-upward approach. Every rocket failure is a lesson. Their test, fail, repeat model has redefined space innovation with a strong dose of anti-fragility. Today, they're arguably the most advanced space tech organization on Earth.
And Tata Group, actually my personal favorite example of anti-fragility. It's a century-old icon that has evolved through foreign occupation, wars, market crashes, and political transitions. Headquartered in India, it is now one of the world's most respected conglomerates.
These aren't abstract theories. These are battle-tested strategies of market leaders. Antifragility is competitive advantage in action. Laura, why don't you tell us why this book is so timely for 2025 and beyond?
Of course. In a highly chaotic world, antifragility is more relevant than ever. Just look around. Global supply chains are under pressure, hot conflicts are escalating in multiple regions, and economic nationalism is on the rise. From Trump-era tariffs that reset global trade dynamics, to China's rare earths embargo bringing factories to a halt, to artificial intelligence disrupting every industry, to climate shocks and cyber attacks that come without warning, the new normal is global disorder. Antifragility turns turbulence into opportunity and uncertainty into an advantage. It is certainly a mindset shift whose time has come.
So, is your organization fragile, resilient, or anti-fragile? Are you built for turbulence or just hoping for calm skies?
And look, let's be honest, no one has a playbook for what's coming next. But that's kind of the point. Antifragility isn't about predicting the future perfectly. It's about making sure you benefit from the unpredictable.
Yeah, and I'd say this. Anti-fragile leadership isn't just wise, it's increasingly a responsibility. In a world where volatility is the norm, the leaders who lean into it, who actually design for it, they're not just protecting their own companies. They're redesigning the systems everyone else depends on.
Antifragility isn't an easy read, but it's a transformative one. And, some parts really make you stop and rethink everything you thought you knew about stability and risk. In a good way. To be truly future-ready, you can pair it with Charlie Ng's new book, The Infinite Company, which is available for pre-order.
And for those who want to go deeper and faster, there's the Infinite Company Pioneers 500 program. And I've got to say, it's not your average online course. It is a high-impact, hands-on, live virtual program for CXOs, entrepreneurs, strategists, and transformation leaders from all around the world to master the infinite code.
Over 6 immersive weeks, you'll apply frameworks and tools to a company of your choice, solving existential challenges, discovering breakout opportunities, and creating lasting change. With cutting-edge instruction, live strategy sessions, real-world case studies, tailored toolkits, and a collaborative peer group. It's about moving beyond just learning the theory to actually leading transformation in the real world. Learn more about the book, the framework, and the program at theinfiniteco.com. That's it for this episode of the Infinite Company Bookshelf. Subscribe to the Infinite Company memo newsletter and follow Charlie Ng on LinkedIn to be notified of future episodes. Until next time, stay thoughtful, stay adaptable,
and stay anti-fragile.